DCC lighting dimmer switch, yes or no? Hi guys, welcome to Iron Horse Weekly. Right then, so we are trying to put up the new shelving system I've got here. It's a series of these uprights which go on the wall, across the wall, and then you slot the shelving into them. A few people recommended it, so I'm going to give it a try based on what I want to do with my layout in the future. I think it's going to be a good way to do it. Now, I've got all the bits and pieces that I need, but I'm just lacking one thing, and that is motivation to actually do things. I hate DIY. Right then, where's the layout gone? It's actually down there now. If you look down here, we have the shelving system. Can I adjust the brightness on this so you can see it more? No, black wall, bottom brackets. 6 of them across the wall there. We've got the one along here, and now I can have 2, 3, 4 shelves. The top one being mostly storage. The second one will also be an operational shelf, but I'll have to stand up to use it. Then we'll have the main one here, which will always be on the bottom shelf. There'll be a fiddle yard at this end, or in the second run, up there. Second fiddle yard here, and whichever layout I'm using will just slot in next to it, similar to what's going on down here, except on the second shelf. Now, that's all coming in the future, but for today, we're going to look at giving a little bit more detail and light to the layout. We've got this little cottage here, a little coal office thing, which normally lives sort of here. Now I've drilled a tiny hole for some wiring. Hopefully you can see me. I'm trying to use the main camera on the phone because the reverse camera isn't as powerful. It looks quite washed out and grainy. Hopefully you can see me because I've no way of telling if you can see me using this camera. Anyway, we're going to add the lighting to the little coal office there using a range of bits and pieces from DCC Concepts, but the main focus is this little gadget here. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. What this does is, for lack of a better word, it's a dimmer switch. It allows you to change the brightness of, I think it's 12 LEDs or 6 incandescent bulbs on the fly. With this little where is it? There's a little switch in there you get with the screwdriver, and you just and it changes the brightness of the LED. So I'm going to put a lamp inside there and maybe one on the outside as well. We'll see how we get on. Let's crack on. So first things we're going to need to do is acquire our bits and pieces. So I've got my dimmer switch here. Everything else should be good to go. So we'll put that to one side for now. And we'll open the magical drawer of destiny. So first things we're going to need is we'll need some of the alphanumeric lighting LEDs. So I'll get one of these out. We'll also need the lamps for the outside. They're pretty cool. I'm sat on the floor here, cross-legged like a Buddha. Right, so morning of chaos. Nothing ever goes right when you want to do something on camera. Things go missing. Things that you've had in your line of vision for the past 3 days just suddenly up and vanish when you want to do something, don't they? Anyway, the coal house, coal cottage, coal office, whatever you want to call it, we're going to prepare it first and foremost. The outside lamp, pretty big. I think putting it there would probably look a little bit, it's almost like it's the wrong scale, to be honest with you. I mean, it's massive, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I might put that up there, just up there at the top of the house. Yeah, that looks good. Mount it there, maybe there, perhaps there. I'm not sure. Maybe there. We put it there. No, that'd be the chimney, wouldn't it? You wouldn't get it mounted there. So yeah, we'll mount it there. Mount it up there. Mount it there. This is about the same size as the little stem on the back there. This is about the same size. So once you've drilled your hole, it'll just work. Hopefully you can see this. About there should be enough. It's a better plastic, I suppose. There we are. we've got us all, and the fun bit is feeding these really thin wires through it. This bit's never enjoyable. If you can't see this on camera, I'm sorry. It's hard enough for me to see it, never mind you. But I'm pretty sure you can understand what I'm doing. Feeding the wires through these tiny holes here. Up on the inside, there we are. Feed that all the way through. Let's just see if that'll go in. Look at that, spot on. Now we'll get a little bit of super glue and just pop it on the back there. Hold that in place until it sets. There we are, lovely job. Now we'll fit the other wire, the internal light. Put that somewhere on the roof inside of the building. That's sticky back, so there's no need to glue it in there. Then we can route this through the baseboard to the little unit itself. Then we just put the track power to that, and that's it, job done. I think we shall put that there, top back corner. And before I even put that on there, what I'm going to do is get a little strip of electrical tape and just put it on the back of the building, on the interior, so that it minimises any immediate light bleed from the area. Get my fingers in there. A little bit of black electrical tape should do it nicely. Just going to finish doing that and then we'll get the LED in place. There we are. So we've got the LED in there, wires free. We're now going to go to the layout, feed these wires through, then we can look at attaching it to the power unit. Here we have our pre-drilled hole. Here we have the absolute nightmare fuel. That is the angel wires, which are going to be an absolute bar steward to get through there. But we'll try and get these through. It's going to be fiddly, to say the least. There we are, got those. There we are, and then feed the main wires through. It should be a little bit easier. They're a nice thick gauge. Feed them through. Now, because of how this is, this support is quite thick. It actually goes back this far. So I've drilled this hole at an angle, which seems to have actually helped it a little bit. Now the house, whatever I want to call it, will be fitted loose, because eventually I'll be adding an interior to it, but that'll do. That's it in place. So now it's a case of getting the soldering iron out and soldering these bits to the LED pads, which are on there, and then track power feed to there and to there, or from your bus or wherever. Let's crack on. So for ease of use, what I'm going to do is just bear the wires back on the thicker gauge wire here, just a bit more, and then I'm going to wrap the angel wire around these wires and melt the casing onto them, and that should make things a lot easier to work with. But the nice thing about them is, even if you lose the end of the ceramic wire, the casing's so thin that you just wrap it around your main wire like this, and when you solder it, it'll melt through it, through the casing, and allow the copper on the inside to connect. So it actually works pretty well. You just need plenty of flux and plenty of solder. Do the same with this one now, and then we can actually do some soldering. Okay, so one boring soldering session later on. I've just used double-sided tape to stick it in place for now, because this will be moved later on. You've got the feed for the LEDs on this side, 1 and 2, and then you've got track power coming in this side. It is worth mentioning that the LED wiring for the side lamp doesn't really matter whether you put it to plus or negative, it works either way. But the lighting for the legacy board does matter. So if you find out that you've join the wires together like I did, and that one comes on, but the inner light doesn't, just make an incision and swap the two wires around later on down there, and both sets will then work. So let's have a look at it. Let's see how it actually looks. Right then, now I thought that looked absolutely fantastic, but how easy is it to actually adjust the light level? Really simple, to be honest with you. We're going to add some track power now. Hopefully you can see this. I'll just put my torch on for a second. You can see this blue box here. There's a little screw terminal on the end of it, and I'm just going to use my little screwdriver here, which incidentally is a DCC Concepts one. It's just nice and small and gets in the way. And as we twist it, the power goes up and down inside the little circuit we've got going on there, and changes the brightness. So if I get rid of that, get me screwdriver, get it in place, and because I've no lights on, you should be able to see if I turn it this way and then this way, it gets a bit brighter. Hopefully you can see that. What's the thoughts then? Dimmer switch any good? I quite liked it. I thought it just gives you a little bit of finesse and control over your lighting. Just be very careful when you're adjusting it. You don't want to do too much or you might pop the LEDs. Well, I'm going to go back to that section a little bit later on, tidy up all the wiring and everything else, and get it set so it looks nice rather than just thrown at the layout, which is what it has been done just for demonstration purposes. I really like the new shelving system I've got as well, so I'm looking forward to getting some more shelves on there and starting another layout and another layout and another layout and another layout. So until next week folks, thanks for watching, see you then, bye bye.